What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins defensive line room, more specifically like the 3-techs and 3-4 defensive ends, that type of thing. Not so much the edge rushers. So, this is definitely one of our weaker spots. I mean, obviously we have Zach Steeler, who we just re-signed last year. So, we're rock solid with that. Emmanuel Ogbah, I will kind of talk about a little bit, just because I think he can play some 3-4 defensive end as well as edge. So, I mean, that does give us a little bit of depth there. Calais Campbell, still a fantastic player. So, I mean, Zach Steeler and Calais Campbell, those are your two starters. Deshaun Hand is a very solid player as well. He played pretty well for us last year, and I think he has potential to play even better this year because he is more of a 3-4 defensive end. And I think this scheme that we're going to be running, I think actually fits him a little bit better. So we'll see in that regard. So I imagine those three make the team. After that, it gets a little bit suspect. Neville Gallimore is a guy that's pretty solid. I liked him a lot more coming out of college. I think, honestly, the Cowboys used him incorrectly. Coming out, he was more of like a slashy 3-tech. But the Cowboys really needed a nose tackle. And instead of getting a nose tackle, they drafted a 3-tech and made him gain a bunch of weight. And I think they kind of ruined Neville Gallimore's career. I'm going to be honest with you. As it stands, I don't really know what to do with him. I don't really know how he fits this team. I don't know if he really has the hand technique to play as a 3-4 defensive end. I guess we'll see. And I don't think he's strong enough to play 0. So, I mean, we'll see. But like I said, Zach Steeler, Calais Campbell, Deshaun Hand, I think those three are locked in. We're going to need a nose tackle. Benito Jones and Brandon Peely both stand out in that regard. Brandon Peely was an undrafted free agent for us last year. Played pretty well for the first few games when we. Benito Jones also played for us at one point. Pretty good player as well. So, I mean, they're nose tackles. It's nothing too crazy. Tyir Tart is also a pretty interesting player, too. Like, it really comes down to how many are we going to keep. You know, like Zach Steeler, 3-tech / 3-4 defensive end. Same thing with Calais Campbell. Got it. Those are your two starters. Okay. Then you really do kind of need a nose tackle for this scheme. So I assume Benito Jones makes the team. So that's 3. You need some depth, so Deshaun Hand, maybe Tyir Tart. Man, that's already 5. Emmanuel Ogbah adding a little bit of depth at edge and 3-4 defensive end does help. So maybe you don't keep either Tyir Tart or Deshaun Hand. I would like to hang on to Brandon Peely as well as some depth for Benito Jones, but really let Benito Jones and Brandon Peely fight it out, see who ends up winning the nose tackle spot. I wouldn't just give it to either one. But I assume Benito Jones would take it. But, man, and Leonard Payne and Mario Kendricks, I'm not really that big on. Yeah, this D-line room is pretty sad. And one thing, too, is they're almost all on one-year deals, so we're not really going to have them next year. Or at least not likely. We would have to re-sign them. But there's not a whole lot of future on this D-line besides Zach Steeler. It just kind of is what it is. But, man, after I'm done looking at each one of these positions, I'm going to start putting together a list of the people I would want to make the team. That's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I would appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.